host of the Gridiron.
15% chance of getting the number one overall pick. Now they have, I think it's the Raiders have the highest chance. I guess I'm going to go over, let's see, because the Giants do have some, I don't want to say winnable games. I hate saying winnable games and the Giants in the same sentence. It's just, especially the way this season's been going. But the let's see, the Giants here. Where are we at here? All right, the Giants this year. Okay, so now after here, right? So we got the Buccaneers, right? And we got the Cowboys without Dak. They haven't won a home game yet. They're 0-5 at home. Then we got the Saints. Then we got the Ravens and the Falcons, who are not from head to toe a phenomenal football team, but they've won their fair share of games, obviously. Then we got the Colts. Then of course we have the Eagles. So maybe you don't know, but maybe the Eagles, maybe at that time they wrap stuff up or whatever. Maybe they'll be resting some of their starters. Who knows? But the Giants have some games where they got a chance, right? They certainly have a chance, all right? But I'm going to go over the Raiders here. Let's see what the Raiders you got. 2024 Las Vegas Raiders. They must have a very tough schedule toward the end here because they're 2-7. Let's see here. They got the Dolphins, they got the Broncos, they got the Chiefs, the Bucks, the Falcons, and the Chargers. So I don't know. I mean, the Dolphins don't have a great record. The Broncos, then the Chiefs and the Buccaneers and the Falcons, the Jaguars, the Saints, and then they get the Chargers. So I guess they have a little harder schedule than what the Giants do. I guess. So they are, according to this article, they have the 30% chance, the Raiders, of Raiders odds of picking number one, 30%. Why are the Raiders number one? Two reasons. First, they have the 12th hardest schedule remaining for the rest of the season. Second, says the projection sees the Raiders as the second worst team in the NFL behind only the Panthers. So, and honestly, if you told me that by the end of the season, the Panthers would project better than the Raiders, I'd believe it. The Panthers seem to have a direction within their organization. I'm not sure the Raiders can say the same. Yeah, the Raiders do seem like they are a freaking mess. The Raiders play 5 teams in the playoff race the rest of the way, and 2 others, the Buccaneers and the Saints, that are slated to get healthier as the season progresses, and it won't be easy wins by any means. So the Giants have a 15% chance. It says, as I mentioned, losing to the Panthers was huge for the Giants' draft position. Not only do they now own the head-to-head tiebreaker of the Panthers, if it comes to that, the strength of schedule is the first tiebreaker in determining draft positioning. But the Giants lost. No team wants to lose, but for a team in desperate need of a quarterback, losing the rest of the way is in its best interest. Though you could probably say that about most teams on the list, yeah. Giants face an average schedule the rest of the way, which is the 18th hardest. All right, so they're in the middle, pretty much the middle of the pack as far as a tough schedule going forward. As you saw, I read off some of the games. Some of those games are, I don't want to say winnable, but they got a chance, right? Let's see. So that puts them, so the Giants are number 2. They got a 15% chance, according to this article here. The Panthers have a 12% chance of picking number 1. It says, though it will benefit the Panthers to lose games, they're likely prioritizing the maturation of 2023 number 1 pick and starting quarterback Bryce Young. The Panthers will certainly benefit from adding high-quality talent to their roster, but Young rebounding from the disastrous start to his career would be far more beneficial as they look to turn things around. And if that means a few more wins and a slightly worse draft position, so be it. Let's see. As for the schedule, the Panthers are in the middle with an average remaining schedule of 5th to 15th. So they're right in the middle there as far as not too hard, not too tough. The nice thing for them is that I project them as the worst team in the NFL. So wins will be hard to come by. The only team with 3 wins or fewer that they face the rest of the way is the Cowboys. So the Browns have a 10% chance getting the number 1 pick. The Browns find themselves in the all too familiar position of being on the verge of picking in the top 5. Though this franchise has in some ways trended in the right direction over the past few years, the Deshaun Watson trade looks to have set it back to square one. Oh my God, yeah. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Now that the Browns are probably the best team on this list and by a decent bit, but they play the 5th hardest remaining schedule. So wins for the Browns going forward will be very difficult to come by. That's going to take its toll on the win column. The fate of the Browns' first-round pick next year will likely depend upon the next 3 weeks. Cleveland faces the Saints at home in what should be a coin flip game, though the Browns should probably be the favorite in that one. Then they play the Pittsburgh Steelers at home on Thursday night football, and before taking on the Broncos. If they overachieve in that stretch, they'll fall out of the running for the number 1 pick. But if they were to lose those 3 games, they would give them a good shot at the first pick overall. And then they got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They got a 9% chance of getting the number 1 overall pick. But the thing is with the Jaguars, if they were to get the number 1 overall pick, they got themselves a quarterback. The thing is, just say the Giants are picking number 2 or 3 or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? The thing is with the Jaguars, right? Now you're playing the game, right? It's like, well, the Jaguars don't need a quarterback. So do we just sit back, light up a doobie, smoke that mofo, and let everything come to us? Right? Do we play that game? Or if the Jaguars are number 1 and we're saying number 3, do we, is somebody from pick number 4, pick number 5, or whatever it is, going to leap over us, make a trade with the Jaguars, and they'll be number 1, and then they'll get the quarterback. So the Giants got, so if the Jaguars wind up number 1, it's not going to be so, it's not like, oh, they don't need a quarterback. We're good. No. No. Yeah, it's a cutthroat league, boy. And when it comes time for a quarterback, holy cow, you better be willing to do whatever it takes. If they love Sanders, and if Papa Prime says it's okay, you got to pick the phone up. Hey, Papa Prime, Coach Prime, can your son come play with the Giants? Is that okay? No? Oh, okay. All right, we won't pick him then. All right, okay. Sorry to bother you. So we got to call Papa Prime, right? Unless they like Ward. I can't remember the guy, because I'm a freaking idiot. I can't remember the guy from Alabama. They like him, so. But if Shane and Dave are around and they see somebody there, and it's like, if we get our hands on this, we'll be good, right? It might take a year or 2, but we're going to be good. This guy, they better do whatever it takes to get that guy, whatever it takes. So, but as I said, the Jaguars, this is one of the toughest because of the uncertainty regarding of Lawrence's injury. I project Lawrence to miss 4 weeks, so that gives the Jags the edge over the New England Patriots and Tennessee Titans for the number 5 spot on this list. However, if he returns sooner and is healthy, the Titans, who still have 2 games remaining against Jacksonville, would move up to this spot. So it all depends upon Lawrence's injury, right? Because, the Titans, they stink. They need a quarterback. There's so many teams in the top 10 right now who need quarterbacks, or the top 10 of the draft as of right now, who need quarterbacks. It's freaking amazing. That said, the Jags have been horrific this year, even with Lawrence in the lineup. They have a relatively easy upcoming slate, so they might start winning, but even with Lawrence projected to return, it's hard to see this team winning more than 5 games. The key part of the Jaguars' schedule will be weeks 16 to 17 against the Raiders and the Titans. If Lawrence returns, it will be favored in those games. If he doesn't, they'll be underdogs. So, there's so many teams that need quarterbacks. Now, the thing is that if you look, right, where we at here? Is this it? You look at the draft board by PFF, right? They have. Oh, let me see. Let me share my screen here. Share the screen. All right, I gotta find this here. Draft board. Oh, there. This might be it. You'll notice there's only so many guys. Is this it? Did it change back here? Okay, hold on. Position. Let me go to position here. Quarterbacks. Here we go. Right? I mean, you see right here. I mean, PFF only has 3 guys with the first round grade. Now, the PFF ranks, so they got Jalen Milroe, that's the guy's name, from Alabama, according to PFF. That's all I'm going by, as the number 1 ranked quarterback in all of college football, who I guess who'd be eligible to come out in the draft. So they got Jalen Milroe. He's the 12th ranked guy. So they got 11. All right, let's see. Who the other? I mean, they got like Travis Hunter, the wide receiver, another wide receiver, Defensive Graham, tackle. They got the guy from Boise State, the running back. Oh my God, what a beast that freaking guy is! Unbelievable. He's been the Gianti. He's been the number 1 ranked running back for 2 years in a row. Unfreaking believable. Will Johnson, cornerback, an edge rusher, a safety. They got a safety. Starks ranked above the top quarterback. Campbell, Burden, Scourton, Banks Jr., and then they got Milroe. So Milroe is the top quarterback in it, but he's ranked number 12 overall as far as grading wise. But of course, since it's a quarterback, right? Quarterbacks are, so this guy will be at the top unless Jacksonville goes, right, number 1, and nobody trades up with them, then Jacksonville will take one of the guys in front of them. But you know how it works out. If one of those quarterback needy teams, like the Giants, get pick number 1, either Milroe, right, who's number 12, Cam Ward, who's number 14, or Sanders, who is, what was he, 21? Sanders is 21. So once again, PFF only has 3 quarterbacks with a first round grade. Now, does that mean that, I mean, it was the same thing last year. They had I think there was a couple other guys, obviously, who got taken in the first round who PFF might have had a second round grade on or whatever. But so you know how it is with the quarterbacks. But I mean, there's a lot of quarterback needy teams, and there's only really 3 quarterbacks as of right now. Because you go to pro days, right? You go to the combine, the Senior Bowl, the East-West Shrine Game, whatever like that, and all of a sudden guys just start standing out, and then they have the sit down, the meetings with them and all that. Some guys just shoot up the board, So you got a guy who has a second round grade like McCarthy last year, right? All of a sudden he seemed like he was the best next guy since the greatest guy since Tom Brady to come out of draft. I mean, he's just shot up the board. So there'll be somebody like that probably. But I'm saying as of right now, okay, there's only 3 quarterbacks, right, who have a first round grade. So if those teams, up in the top, right, going for quarterbacks, there's not many to go around, right? Of course, unless you want to wait till the second round and pick one of those other guys, maybe one of them will fall to you. But then again, you're gambling. You're gambling. Because you look at it too, right? I mean, just anybody. Just I don't know, whatever. Say the Chiefs, right, at number 32. Say they win the Super Bowl again for the 38th year in a row. Well, I mean, say one of those quarterbacks fall, right, and the Chiefs are up at number 32. They just won the Super Bowl. They got a pretty good team. It's like, you know what? Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he's getting up there. We're not trading him. I mean, he's still a quarterback, but we're going to draft this quarterback, right? And he'll be Mahomes. He's a pretty good quarterback. Mahomes gets hurt. We're going to draft this guy, right? And he'll be Mahomes' backup. He'll learn under Mahomes. He'll be on the sideline. He's learning under the best quarterback in all of football, right? He'll have Andy Reid there, so he'll be ready. So if something happens to Mahomes, we got this guy. So that might happen. But I mean, it's going to be a dogfight, for those quarterback spots because not many of them going around. Not many of them going around. So, but the Giants have a 15% chance of getting the number one overall pick.